Hey there, everybody. We're at the LA Convention Center. Our first time here in 25 months. Last time we were here, it was for LA Comic Con. This time we're back for LA Comic Con. As we went down the escalator in 2019, it said, we'll see you back. I believe it was September 24th, 2020. Obviously, that didn't happen, but we are excited to be here. It's been a long journey to get here. They have fought through a lot of things. They did try to go for it in 2020. Couldn't happen, obviously. They had a kind of layered approach that they originally planned for this year, where people are only going to have like half-day tickets or third-day tickets. Really, it's going to be like sessions that you can come on the floor for distancing. But LA ended up laxing on that a little bit, or the state as well, and so they're able to have a mostly regular con. There is a vaccine check, there is a requirement for masks, but besides that, feels like a regular con. So that said, the floor is about to open to attendees for the first time fully since 2019. Let's check that out, and then let's just start looking at some cosplay, some fun sights on the floor, and just take in a little bit of what this con is.
That'll be. So like obviously like if you reunion 30-year reunion series, unlimited series.
LA Comic Con has a few booths here that really give that kind of big con feel. One for sure is Sideshow Collectibles. They've got a great Baby Yoda photo op, as well as just a ton of premium format statues and all sorts of stuff on display there. Then you've got Loungefly. They've got a couple show exclusives that have been quite popular. And then we have Hot Topic returning once again to LA Comic Con. They've got a Two-Face Funko and a Spider-Man Doppelganger Metallic. I'm sure I got that all right, but yeah, that is it. So take a little look. These booths have been drawing a lot of fans over to check out their stuff. So let's look at what they have. All right, some of our Loungefly items available at the booth this weekend. The Cogsworth has been particularly attractive to people. We've seen tons of people walking away with those, as well as the Harry Potter. Lots of people excited about these. You can see people here filing into the Hot Topic booth. Waves of them to get those Funko exclusives. And here's a look at what they have over at Funko. Definitely these guys are the big draws. All right, as mentioned before, Sideshow on the floor, and they have really brought it with all sorts of beautiful stuff on display. So let's take a look. Is filled with photo ops, artists, Incredible comic creator lineup here as well. You've got celebs making their way into a different hall for signings, but it frees up even more room for an artist alley and a creator corner that is packed with all sorts of stuff. A little bit of vintage toys, lots of modern toys, all sorts of things. So let's grab some more on the floor.
Mimikyu is a ghost type Pokemon. Kind of looks like Pikachu.
No, I have not seen him yet.
One thing we've been super impressed with at this con is the amount of vendors and the types of vendors, but particularly in the world of comics and comic bins, there are so many dealers here with rows and rows of bins. $1 books, $2 books, $5 books, wall books. Definitely heavier though on the discount type of books, and that is our favorite. We've been digging around and finding some good finds there. We'll share those as we do the wrap up at the end of the episode, but let's just take a look at some of the types of booths offering those comics up.
Right here. Keep walking forward. You would have big bags. I heard you guys coming. Yeah, now I'm so close.
Display or protect
I'm
yourself.
really... You might have too. Yeah.
There are a ton of panels this weekend at LA Comic Con, and one of the biggest draws is going to be the main stage, which is actually on the exhibit hall floor once again. We have a number of celebrities making their way there. Let's show you some clips.
This thing happened. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as Moff Gideon. Give it up for Giancarlo Esposito, everyone. Give it up! Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome absolute royalty, Fennec Shand on The Mandalorian and in the big Star Wars universe. Give it up for Ming-Na Wen, everyone! Grogu, being on set with Grogu, we've heard stories of like Werner Herzog reportedly like not being able to like break eye contact with him on set and like trying to talk to him in between takes. Do you have any stories of working either with Werner Herzog or with Baby Yoda, Grogu?
I hate working with Baby Yoda. He steals every scene. Never work with kids, animals, or Baby Yoda, Grogu.
Yeah, so when Baby Yoda was presented to me by John, we walked by a rolling tray, and we were halfway by. He said, "You want to meet the baby?" And I went, "Yeah." And he whipped off the canvas cover on the baby, and just then the puppeteer was coming over. Anybody want to see him move? And I looked at this, and I went, scratched my head, and I looked at John, and I said, "That's the star of the show."
And he has such an entourage. He is such a diva.
Totally.
Right? Like he's got like 6 people with him all the time.
It's just been so amazing to see the popularity continue to grow, especially for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original cast, over all these years. So it's extremely humbling and it's an honor. It's a little weird to be told that we're icons or legends, I take it to heart, and I know that we try to be better people for you guys because, you got so much out of Power Rangers, and you got into martial arts, and you became scientists, doctors, gymnasts, all kinds of amazing things, and so that's really an honor to be a part of that, to know that our characters somehow shaped the human beings that you are.
Yeah, I think Dave has hit all the points. You guys are older enough, after 20 years, everything becomes a classic, right? You have a car in your garage, it's like 17 years old, who cares? All of a sudden it's 20 years and it becomes something, just like stocks or anything else. The Power Ranger brand, the reason why I think is because you all can express yourself now as being older. A lot of people were told not to watch Power Rangers because it was violent, this and that. We had to always protect the brand. Violence was created before television shows, and if we all just go with our heart and who we are, then I think the world would be a better place. And if we're happy to have an imprint on the world.
And Futurama. What is Futurama? No, there's your answer. Let's go over here. Yeah, roll. You're the one who pays the money. I collect your money, so they're all favored to me.
I think they're all going to come out here now. Oh, here we go. There's Sean. Will Friedle. Oh, and we have William Daniels coming. Iconic. And we have Barney Bartlett. So thank you guys so much.
Online Comic-Con, does anybody remember that? John Carlos was a guest, and we got to meet and talk over Skype.
How about that?
But now we're not Skype.
Now we're here in person.
Now this is real.
So happy to be back. It's not easy being an actor. When you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I've had some really great opportunities to play some great characters. You mentioned Michael Mann, who is an absolutely phenomenal filmmaker. He is an artist, and he started by painting, which makes me think a lot about Comic-Cons and all the great artistry that exists here. All the folks in Artist Alley who, film is a series of frames, a series of pictures put together. That's how we make television and film. But it all stems from artistry, from doing a painting, from doing a cartoon, and putting all that series together to create an idea and a story that's behind it. So I love working with Michael, and I feel like he's very specific in the way he sees things. So, life is a vision. Like if you wake up in the morning and you go, like I'm the kind of guy that goes, okay, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. I may miss a few things in between, but at least the path and the route is planned out in your consciousness. That's kind of how you make TV and film. That's kind of how you envision, coming to a Comic-Con, putting together your Darth Vader costume, right? You think about the pieces that go into doing it. So what I love about Michael Mann is that he has a vision. And if you have a vision, you become a visionary, and you're able to work for yourself and do things that you love to do because you're steeped within creation. And that's my description of Michael Mann. Very specific.
Different ones that I have, and then I just stack them up, and then
in order to free up some room, they've moved the autograph sessions into its own special hall. So everything's separated out here, so it's not part of the overall floor. Give things a little bit more room. There's a lot of people here getting ready to get autographs here on Saturday afternoon.
Kobe side, non-shack side, like the HK one you saw. And this one's in a slab bag.
All right, we're gonna make a quick stop over in the West Hall, which really it's almost like its own two conventions underneath the umbrella of this much larger convention, LA Comic Con. Part of it upstairs, they have Star Trek panels, merch, meet and greets, all sorts of stuff. It's like kind of a mini Star Trek con. A lot of it to celebrate kind of a farewell to Nichelle Nichols. And so a classic original series Star Trek actor has been such a great guest for so many years. Seen her a number of times, gotten her autograph before. She's fantastic, and so she's here, and that's a big focus of the Star Trek side. Then on the downside, and actually we'll go ahead and start up there on the bottom level, it's all about e-gaming, gaming, esports, anime, and things of that nature. So let's head in and check that out, and then we'll head upstairs for some Star Trek.
Let's see an instant replay of that. What?
So there's two Wild Bills on the main floor, and then a third one over here. So I thought there was only two. People have been loving their original drinks. This is the only time we've actually seen them not super crowded with a big line, so good to see that they are doing well. There's a few vendors in this area as well with all of the gaming options, lots of free play sets. So this gives an idea of some of the types of panels that have been over here in this part of the con. This is the main programming room, which is a big old room relative to it being kind of a subcategory of the main con. Seeing they had a Trek Riders panel in here. Tomorrow they have a Star Trek Discovery panel with Doug Jones. So it's been kind of a nice little area of the con. We've been so busy on the main floor area, the main panel, all that we haven't really been able to enjoy it. But I'm glad it's here, and see if we can check it out more tomorrow on Sunday.
No problem. I'm here to help.
Do you want photos with anything?
Behind us is the big line for Nichelle Nichols. She's doing regular autographing and also doing photo ops with the actual bridge setup that they have, which is a pretty great way to get a photo and say goodbye to her on the convention circuit for sure. But this in general, just this whole area having kind of its own Trek focus is really fun. It really, I don't know, it's just kind of a nice vibe over here. It's like they're off on their own, doing their own thing here. So all the energy of the regular con is fantastic. But it's definitely a little bit slower speed and kind of just a relaxing vibe over here, which is appreciated as well.
Okay, outstanding. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You don't know where to get the air.
I like the light for it. I'm sorry, Juan. I just had to do one.
I know. They're taking pictures like that.
All right, this is the part where we wrap up the show, we go under the con and talk a little bit about our experiences. First, I just want to say this was a fantastic show. This wasn't just a good convention relative to coming back from a pandemic. This was just a really great, fun convention. Solid panels, cosplay, artists, comic people, media people, toys, deals. I mean, it really had everything. It really kind of blew us away in terms of how much was going on for a show coming back and rebounding from a miserable 2020 situation where they had to cancel. So that said, we want to get into some of the things. So a big thing for us was, oh, I can't even grab them all, comic bins. All of these comic bins, tons of dollar books, $2 books. This one I found the top 353, first appearance of Mobius. You've seen the Loki show, you know that's a big deal at TVA. Killed that we did not pick it up in a dollar bin or 50-cent bin like years ago because didn't know it was a big deal, but it was a big deal, and so finally scoping it out and finding there was also awesome. This was a big deal for us. We started getting these signatures in March of 2013. So it took a while. We won a wristband at WonderCon and got Stephen Amell and a bunch of them, but finally picked up Katie Cassidy. She was here. It just felt good to be back in a place waiting like for a half hour, sitting on the ground for autographs like the old days, you know, so just kind of that con love. Lots of discounts on figures. The Iron Man wave, they have these 2 for $30 at one of the booths just to start out the con on the weekend. A lot of good deals, and so I've been picking those up to complete that Ursa Major. Fantastic Build-A-Figure. Picked up some pieces there. DC Multiverse, found a booth with several of them for $15. Picked up Bizarro there, and then as we know, the Eternals figures have not sold well, but I didn't really want them at the 20 something, but at the $12 price, we're starting to pick those up. Got Cersei, Makari, and Phastos. They had the whole wave, but we'll break that up and pick them up more. So a lot of just discount shopping. Between the deals on the floor and the incredible cosplay, it was like you just never wanted to leave the floor. And then the fact that they have the main stage on the floor, you just really didn't need to. So we spent a lot of time kind of circling, hitting booths, hitting comic pins, checking out the cosplay, checking out the main stage, and circling back and forth again. So a lot of fun with all of that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Let people know if you like our convention coverage. Follow along with us on social media. We have so many conventions now coming up in the next, I don't know, 6 months, year. I mean, I think now that the cons are back, they're going to be very busy for us, and so we look forward to covering lots of them. So with that being said, we will wrap up here. Until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.